What if your prospects stopped asking how much and started asking, when can we start? There's one shift that makes that happen, and most business owners never make it. Imagine waking up and your calendar's already full of book calls from people who found you, get what you do, and want to talk to you. No convincing, no chasing, no dropping your price. Just get them in the door. That's what this video is about. The one shift that gets the right clients coming to you consistently so you can add real revenue without adding more hours to your week. And I know it works because I watched it happen for my client, Austin. Austin had a growing business with a lot of offers, but all of those offers were creating a lot of noise and not a lot of clarity. We fixed that. If you're a six-figure business owner who's good at what they do, but stuck on a lead gen roller coaster, some months slammed, some months silent, and you're ready for a steady stream of the right clients, predictably and on your terms, keep watching. Here's exactly what we're covering. 3 moves. First, the messaging that makes price irrelevant. I'll show you what it is. Second, why it works. And it's not some clever sales trick. It works because it's specific and targeted, which means it does the selling before you ever get on a call. And third, the 3 things you can do this week to put it to work for you, so you start attracting more of the right clients predictably and consistently. Are you ready? Let's go. Most business owners fish for clients with a wide net. Cast it out, see what comes back. And it's mostly junk. Small fish, bottom feeders, the stuff you throw back. Meanwhile, the fish you actually want saw that net coming and they swam right past. That net is generic messaging. Cast wide enough and you'll catch something, but not the clients ready to invest. The fix isn't a bigger net. It's bait built for one specific fish. Drop exactly where that fish lives. Stop trying to catch everything. Start using a message so specific that the exact client you want can't swim past it. Here's what happens when your message is too generic. First, you become interchangeable. And if your message doesn't speak to one specific person's exact problem, you're just another option in a sea of options that all sound the same. And when you sound the same as everyone else, the only thing that differentiates you is price. Second, your pipeline turns into a guessing game. Some months you're slammed with inquiries. Other months, crickets. And you have no idea why. That's what happens when your net is wide instead of targeted. You catch whoever happens to swim by whenever they happen to swim by. There's no consistency because there's no aim. And those 2 things, competing on price and an unpredictable pipeline, they compound. You work harder to land clients who pay you less on a schedule you can't predict or control. And that's a formula for a plateau, a revenue ceiling. Not because you've hit your limit, because your message has hit its limit. Now let's flip all of that. When your message is specific, built for one client, speaking their exact language, naming their exact problem, you stop being interchangeable. You become the obvious choice. Prospects aren't comparing you to 5 other options anymore because you don't sound like the other 5. Price isn't the conversation, fit is. And once that happens, your pipeline fills consistently. You're not hoping the right person stumbles across you this month. You're attracting them on purpose because your message is aimed at exactly who you want and provides exactly what they need. And it compounds in your favor. When you're not competing on price, you finally get the thing you started your business for in the first place: growth, freedom, and impact. So, how do you actually build a message like that? Well, there are 3 moves. 1, articulate the core problem you solve for a specific client. 2, paint a picture of their destination. And 3, show them how you do it. Every potential client has a problem they don't want, and they have a dream they don't yet have. And they want help on both. You need to let them know you have the framework to solve both. Let's start with articulate the problem. It's the first move because it's the foundation for everything else. You have to articulate the exact problem you solve for a very specific client. And here's the principle underneath it. You can serve many types of clients, but your message can only speak clearly to one at a time. Because here's the truth. In a crowded marketplace, fitting in is failing. In a busy marketplace, not standing out is the same as being invisible. Let me tell you about a client, Dan. Dan was sharp, full of ideas, full of offers, and every single one of them was good. He could help this kind of client. He could help that kind of client. Honestly, he could help them all. And that was the problem. When I asked Dan who he helped and what problem he solved, his answer was a paragraph, maybe two. And here's the thing about a 2-paragraph answer. Nobody hears it. When you try to speak to everyone, no one hears it. So we did the hard work. We started stripping away things, not adding, subtracting, one offer at a time until we landed on one audience, one problem, one promise. And I watched the tension leave his shoulders because for the first time, Dan could say what he did in one sentence. And the right people leaned in. Here's the lesson, and I want you to write this down. Clarity scales, complexity stalls. Every extra client type you try to speak to doesn't widen your net, it waters down your message. The riches aren't in reaching everyone, they're in being unmistakable to someone. And this just isn't feel-good advice, it pays. Research from IE Business School found that a truly differentiated business can charge higher prices and offer fewer discounts, and their clients tend to be more loyal. Specificity isn't just clearer, it's more profitable. So here's my question for you. If I asked you who you help, would it take you a sentence or a paragraph? Because if it takes a paragraph, you don't have a lead problem. You have a clarity problem, a message problem. So here's what to do this week. Pick one specific customer subtype. If you're a realtor, it's not buyers and sellers. It's not even one or the other, because you could help first-time buyers or move-up buyers or downsizing buyers or the vacation home buyer. The key is pick one. Then write down in their words the one key problem keeping them up at night. Then use that sentence as the opening line of your next email, your next post, or your next conversation. Next, you need to paint a picture of the destination. Once you've named the problem, you have to paint a picture of where they're going. People don't buy your process, they buy the future they want. And if they can't see it, they won't chase it. Think about it. Nobody hires you because they're excited about your 5-step system. It's important, and we'll get to that in a minute, but they don't hire you because of it. They hire you because of where that system takes them. The problem is what gets their attention. The destination is what makes them move. Remember, every customer has a problem they don't want and a dream they don't yet have. Always remember, people want to be taken somewhere. That's your job in the message. Not to list what you do, but to show them where they'll end up. The version of their business and their life that exists on the other side of working with you. If your message only names the pain, you've done half the job. The pain gets them to listen. The destination gets them to reach out. So here's what you do this week. Write one sentence describing what your ideal client's life looks like 6 months after working with you, and make it specific and measurable. Not more freedom, not less stress, something they can actually see. 6 months from now, you're taking Fridays off and your pipeline is full. Then use that sentence in your next post, email, or conversation. Let them feel the destination. That's move number 2. And now here's the third move. Show them how you do it. This is the one that ties it all together. You have to show them the roadmap. The principle here is simple, but everybody gets it wrong. What sets you apart isn't a feature list. It's one clear mechanism, your framework, your method, your system that makes you the only logical choice. Let me tell you something I learned about in my own business. Over a holiday break, I sat down to plan the year, and I caught myself doing the thing so many of us do, hunting for a better tactic. Some new funnel, some new hack, some new shiny thing that would finally make clients show up faster. And then it hit me. I didn't need a better tactic. I didn't need a better plan. I needed to name the one I already had. So I took the framework I'd been using for 20 years and I gave it a name, the $1 Million Plus Framework. It's the same framework I've used to help hundreds of small business owners add an extra $10,000 a month and free up 10 hours a week. The framework I've used to help more than 100 business owners go from 6 to 7 figures. Nothing about the strategy changed, but the moment it had a name, it became something my potential clients could see, trust, and follow. Here's the lesson. Stop chasing better tactics, start executing a better strategy, and give it a name. Because a named framework does something a pile of tactics never will. It tells your prospect this person has a path. They've done this before. There is a way through. Do you know what the single most searched query on YouTube was in 2025? It wasn't a celebrity, wasn't a song, it was a phrase. And that phrase was how to. Above everything else, people aren't searching for what, they're searching for how. They want the path. So when you show up with a clear method, a named way of getting them from where they are to where they want to be, you're providing what they're already looking for. Here's what I want you to do this week. Name your mechanism. Give your process an actual name, and then put that name somewhere it will be seen. Your bio, your intro, use it in your next pitch. Make it real, make it visible, make it yours. Okay, let's put all of this together. Remember that wide net we talked about at the beginning? The one that drags in mostly bottom feeders while the best fish swim right past? Well, you don't need a bigger net. You never did. You just need the message dropped right where your ideal clients are already swimming. And that comes down to three things. One, articulate the exact problem you've solved for one specific person in their words. Two, paint the destination. Show them the future they actually want. And three, show them how you get them there. Get those three things working together, and pricing stops being the focus of the conversation. In fact, the conversation starts to turn to whether you want to work with them or not. Has this been useful? If it has, here's where to go next. Watch my video on the $1 Million Framework. It's the roadmap that everything we've talked about plugs into. The link's in the description below. And when you're ready to actually start building this, I put together a free 5-day email course called 5 Days to an Extra 10K a Month. It walks you through how to build a business that grows, whether you're in it or not. The link's in the description below too. So grab it today. Here's the truth. Most business owners are stuck on a roller coaster of unpredictable leads and wrong fit clients. But it doesn't have to be that way. Install the right framework, and you'll add an extra $10,000 a month and free up 10 hours a week. More money, more freedom, more impact on your terms. Now, go do the work. I'll see you in the next video.